Hey Bison Hawk, barking madly here. Just finally got around to finishing up watching your all your videos on the crawfish, your comprehensive crawfish farming event. Had a couple things that came to mind. First off, on your using the metal halide lamp for heat in the wintertime, good thought on that. Don't know whether it would be that way. It'll keep the whole room warm and not just the water. Depending on what you're thinking about for the room, you might even want to look at like little small, not tea heaters, but just the heaters you get for normal aquarium and stuff like that. Next thing I wondered is, I had thought originally your die-off had occurred, just kind of randomly and whatnot. I didn't realize you had just switched it, just moved them over into an aerated area. I'm wondering, do crayfish or crawfish get water shock? I know when I've had to move fish around a lot, when I used to be into aquariums, had to be real careful of that because you move them from one tank or you're doing a water change or whatever. If you weren't careful, you'd end up with a lot of them getting, just going belly up or getting ick or whatever. I know I came up with the idea of using the shrink tubing for the banding the claws, but just had another thought when I was actually watching you with the snap ring pliers. Have you ever thought of dental rubber bands? If you ever see the guys that wear braces, a lot of times they get those rubber bands that go from the top to bottom of their mouth and all that. They're usually small rubber bands, maybe 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch in diameter. You buy them by the hundreds for a few bucks. If you're interested, I can look it up for you. But it might even be a better bet than using that shrink tubing where you have to cut it and all that stuff. Although the shrink tubing you get in different colors. So I don't know. Just a thought. Lastly, I know you mentioned ways of getting crayfish, and I didn't even know you could buy them in the stores, but then again, I guess that goes to where I live. Used to live in Michigan, and now I live in Cali, so crawfish aren't exactly a big delicacy here, although I'm sure someplace sells them. Lastly, wanted to talk about a way, where to get them as far as an alternative for that. I don't know how you catch them. Way back in the day when I used to fish a bit more, we used to, we'd catch our own live crayfish for fishing bait. And you can go out with a net and try nabbing them and stuff like that, or lifting rocks and stuff, but it's a real pain in the butt. What we used to use though is we'd make a trap, kind of like a miniature lobster trap. Ours, you make a hardware cloth. It's metal mesh like screen, but it's got 1/4 inch squares in it. You roll yourself a hollow tube, and then you make a cone on either end. Although it's supposed to fit, but you make one of those on either end, and you just toss them. You squeeze some food into the center of it, tie a string to it, and just toss it into a deep part of the water. And as long as the hole on the inlet or the entrance of it is big enough, they'll climb in. But because this is a cone, they're not going to be able to get back out very easily, and you can catch your crayfish that way. We used to use them for minnows also. We just use regular window screen for that. But for crayfish, we just, the 1/4 inch stuff, ours would be maybe 18 inches to maybe 2 feet long, about 4 to 6 inches in diameter, and just wrap it up and toss some food in it. I guess you could also use PVC tubes with the screen on the end or whatever, but using the screen mesh was real nice because it just drained real easy. So anyway, those are just some thoughts I had on it. Really cool seeing how that's working. And when you said naked on that video, that had me scared. Fortunately, I think I saw a pair of boxers or something like that. So too much information is not always a good thing. Anyway, later, man. Good vids.